Hello children, I hope you are taking good care of yourself. So let's do the next lesson of UAE SST for grade 8, Africa from colonialism to independence. So here we have the learning objectives. We need to understand Africa's transformation in the 20th century from colonialism to independence. That means from slavery to independence. UAE link. UAE had also faced the pangs, that is the period of struggle of imperialism at the hands of the Britishers. The CC link, economics, as the lesson has a reference of the colonial powers that colonized the continent purely for economic benefits, how much they could maximize the profits and direct the wealth into their nations. Now here we have the warm-up class discussion slide. This is very much from your textbook. You can go through this slide. So viewers, before I proceed further, just a humble request. If you haven't subscribed, then please subscribe. And if you really like my video of today, then please give me a thumbs up. So let me just continue with our video today. Now the European colonialism in Africa. As the Europeans explored more areas outside of Europe in the 1600s, they found Africa a land rich in natural resources. So although Europeans were very wealthy enough, but they felt that they should have more markets, more places wherein they can visit and get the raw materials for their industries. So they were exploring the other regions outside Europe and they come across this continent of Africa, which was so rich in natural resources. Look at the land area. The land area of Africa is about 30.37 million square kilometers. That is 3 times more than the size of China. In fact, Africa is larger than the combined areas of China, USA and Canada. So by this you can easily understand the extent of this region of Africa. Africa has inhospitable deserts, but it also has milder areas for growing crops. That means that the deserts are not at all suitable for the cultivation of crops, but there are areas which are not so severe hot, and those areas are being utilized for farming purposes. Natural resources found in Africa include the diamonds, raw materials for sugar, that is the sugar cane, the gold, the iron, the cobalt, the uranium, copper, bauxite, silver, petroleum, in addition to agricultural products. What a huge big region and so much rich in natural resources. Children, let me tell you something which is recently going on in the African continent. They are digging the region and they have started with a campaign called as Dig It Up. And in that they are digging the region, the land, making a kind of holes so that whatever rainfall which they receive can be stored. The water can be stored of that rainfall in those ditches. If there is moisture in the soil, then it becomes easier for the crops to grow. So they are turning this desert regions of Africa into green pastures. Now let us see the European crisis. What was the crisis over there that led to these people searching and exploring the other regions of the world? To be precise, why did they explore the region of Africa? As you know that the first industrial revolution ranged from the mid 1700s to the mid 1800s. People in the European countries needed natural resources to produce goods that could not be found in Europe. At the same time, the population of Europe was high as compared to the land area available in Europe, causing overcrowding. That means the ratio of the land was less than the growing population. Many people lived in large cities with poor conditions and poverty was widespread. Some European powers saw the African continent as a way to increase their natural resources and a way to give economic opportunities to the people in their own countries. That means they shifted some of the people to the region of Africa just because it was the region which was rich in natural resources. So the economic opportunities to the people would be high in such countries. Now, there was a dispute between the European powers in their bid to expand themselves in the African continent. There were clashes amongst themselves. So people from Europe were sent into Africa to set up farms over there, mines, and other types of businesses to get or make products to be sent back to their countries in Europe. People from different countries in Europe sometimes they claimed the same area. That means if it was a British colony, then even the French, take for example, claimed that this is our area. And this led to clashes or wars between the European nations. So, what did they do? They said that this is a huge big region of Africa. If we keep fighting amongst ourselves, then we won't have time to maximize on our profits. We are over there to just gain and exploit the region to its hilt. So if we keep fighting amongst ourselves, then obviously our energy would be directed in a wrong direction. So let us have some kind of conference in which we come to some consensus. So in 1884 and in 1885, between these 2 years, the diplomats from these countries of Great Britain, Germany, France, Belgium, Italy and Spain met to discuss the situation in Africa. The meeting was called the Berlin Conference because it was held in Berlin, which is the capital of Germany. At this diplomatic conference, the countries agreed to divide the continent of Africa amongst themselves to be ruled as colonies. Now, they were holding a huge big map of Africa and they were discussing this map of Africa sitting in Berlin. Now, who had given them this right? Who had given them this right to divide the region of Africa according to their spheres of influences? Just look at the high handedness of these people. So the poor African continent was divided amongst these European countries, which we have seen over here, Great Britain, Germany, France, and so on. And they were made the colonies. Now, the explanation provided over here for a colony is a colony is a place far away from one country, yet ruled as a part of that country. Usually, the laws in a colony are based on the laws of the ruling country, not the country that was colonized. That means how we had in case of India. India was made the colony by the Britishers. British, the region of Britain is in Europe, and India lies in the Asian continent. All the way from Europe, the Britishers came to India, took over the entire country, more or less the entire country of India, made it their colony, and the country was governed by the laws of the colonizers. That means it was governed by the British laws. This is what it means over here. Here comes activity 1, which is very much from your textbook. Children, you can please go through. Now this is just the continuation of activity 1. You can see activity 2 over here. It's an application based question which they are asking us. I've written down the answer. You can still add some more points to it. We have the new countries in Africa which were formed because of these European countries who came and colonized the region. So many of the rich and prosperous regions were taken over by them, and slowly and steadily the ancient civilization started declining or disappeared. European powers had more advanced weapons, and that's the reason they could have the hold or the domination in these African colonies because of their sophisticated weapons. The colonial boundaries were very different from the traditional or customary boundaries. That means at one point of time when they had in the past the boundaries in which they had the people of the same culture residing at one place. These colonial powers, when they came, they just divided the people. So that was something which was actually a negative point over here that shows about the imperialism. Second thing what they have mentioned is when the colonial boundaries were drawn, that means Britishers and the French people and the Portuguese and so on, when they started drawing those boundaries, they separated the people, they separated the tribes, sadly, those who shared the same culture, the same language, the values and the beliefs. And then the worst thing is that they restricted their movement. Then in other cases it was that the people and the languages were included in the same area. That means that people speaking different languages, having different values and set of beliefs were included in the same area. So these are the negative bearings of colonialism on the African people, and these practices led to conflicts and wars. Here you can see the withdrawal of the European powers. Eventually the European colonial powers withdrew from the African colonies. In some cases the colonies became too expensive or difficult to manage. That's the reason they left the African continent. Otherwise they would have never left it. Second thing is that the UN Charter of 1945 says that all the countries of the world, whether big or small, whether weak or strong, should have this quality of self-determination. That means that the countries should be ruled by their own government and not by the foreign government. In other cases, people in the colonies wanted to set up their own government. So it is that the UN Charter has actually helped them to win liberty. Only Liberia and Ethiopia were not colonized because they did not have much natural resources to offer. So when they did not have much natural resources to offer, none of the European countries felt that they should go over there to that region and take it over. The modern day country of Egypt was formed in 1922. Although Great Britain retained control of certain parts of Egypt along the Suez Canal until 1956. Most of Africa received independence after 1956. Now, let me tell you over here that the Asian countries got independence, say 20 decades before the African countries started getting independence. Why? Because the national movement was stronger in Asian countries, and the realization for winning independence came little later in African continent. So obviously, when the struggle for emancipation or for freedom started late, so independence is also going to come late to them. So that's the reason most of the African countries received independence after 1956. Areas of West Africa became independent states in 1960. This set in progress a movement to allow the remaining countries of Africa to become independent nations. So it's like when they saw other countries of Africa getting independence, they followed suit. So they started claiming and they started pressing a demand for independence. Here comes activity 1, which is very much from your textbook. Children, you can please go through. So this is activity 4 from your book. You have to just match it. So I have put up the pictures of these people along with their names. So now you can easily match it. Here we have the plenary questions. Please go through the plenary questions. I hope you'll be able to answer it well. And if you are able to answer it well, that means you have understood the lesson properly. So, thank you for watching. Take very good care of yourself. Give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, then please subscribe. Bye bye. See you next time with some new video. Take care. Bye bye.